Yahoo had a shot 15 years ago to dominate the marketplace. They missed their mark. Yahoo could have bought Twitter for $6 billion.
The number of companies that have made layoff announcements is now slightly more than 200. Whenever the economy goes down, corporations have the same opportunity to kind of clean out part of the garage. So while the news is bad, make all of your moves.
More than 1,600 workers will lose their jobs in the latest cuts, suggesting the company's current headcount is closer to 8,000 employees. The layoffs are part of a broader effort by the company to streamline operations in Yahoo's advertising unit. The Yahoo for Business segment strategy has struggled to live up to the high standards across the entire stack. We will reduce the workforce of the former Yahoo for Business division by nearly 50% by the end of 2023. Yahoo is on its way down. It's been going down for a while, whether it's a good economy or bad economy. Yahoo had a shot 15 years ago to dominate the marketplace. They missed their mark. Yahoo could have bought Twitter for $6 billion. Yahoo's made so many bad decisions. Any business school can do a case study on Yahoo of 55 things not to do. They're a picture-perfect story for that company.
I think this is 80% economy, and then 20% we're getting a window into what's happened at companies. Whenever the economy goes down, corporations have the same opportunity to kind of clean out part of the garage. So while the news is bad, make all of your moves. When the news gets bad, don't just lay off people. If you've always, hey, well, you know, you got a couple projects here we'd like to write off. We had a couple things we're not sure about. Clean out the garage. If Yahoo was still public, their ticker system would be WLY, what's left of Yahoo. They are just a shell of themselves. Private equity bought it to squeeze out what's left of the advertising money that comes out of Yahoo. So this is 80% the economy and 20% bad decisions. The number of companies that have made layoff announcements is now slightly more than 200.
Holy 200.
Tech companies or
No. Companies that have announced layoff.
Overall.
And that's like more than 100 layoffs. There's been, now the tech companies are leading with
Wait,
the zero.
200 companies that have laid off more than companies that have laid off more than 100 people or more is 200 of them right now.
Correct.
That's a real number. Yahoo's had an opportunity to buy everybody. I know they had a chance at buying a Twitter for $6 billion, but Google story is a different story. You can see it right there. In 1998, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, founders of Google, approached Yahoo to sell Google for $1 million.
Dude, I remember in the late 90s literally asking my buddy, who was like a tech nerd at the time, I go, hey, Jeremy, what's the difference between the internet and email? He's like, oh, you nerd. Dude, you're talking about the late 90s, midnight. Nobody knew. I'm using this as an example of how Yahoo was like a leader or a thought leader, a business leader at the time, and now they're sort of like a joke. I mean, they also had $1 trillion. I remember at the time going to search information on the internet, and I went onto yahoo.com. This is in the early 2000s. And I remember a friend of mine goes, Yahoo? Use Google.
According to Stock Picker and ARK Invest CEO, Kathy, with technology companies are cutting jobs as they harness the new AI tools and other technologies to increase productivity and provide new products and services. Wood stated that these layoffs should not be viewed as a sign of technology sector being in disarray, but instead as a correction from overhiring during the height of the pandemic. More than 300 technology firms, including Amazon, Apple, Zoom, Dell, and IBM, have seen layoffs in 2023, nearly 100,000 job cuts since the beginning of the year.
So who was talking about it yesterday? I think it was on Joe Rogan's podcast, that the new update, the part 4 of the ChatGPT is coming out. The way that they were talking with Lex Friedman, it's scary that in the next 10, 15 years, they're literally going to take over. And so it's going to ruin society because everybody's going to be unemployed. People are going to have the jobs. And then, Pat,
I don't know about that.
Well, think about it, Pat. I think it has to do with a lot of it. If right now you have somebody writing a story that I could easily just type in ChatGPT and then just tweak it a little bit, why do we need that human being doing it?
We are enamored by human beings who independently can do things that others cannot do. We're enamored by that. Hollywood acting, if you can act a role and get me to believe in the movie Fences, when you watch Denzel, you don't love me, I don't love you.
Yeah.
You have the other. You see that, but you've seen 5 other people do that part. Have you seen Steve Harvey tell a story?
He's freaking moving.
I gotta tell you, Steve Harvey is maybe one of the top 10 best storytellers in the world today.
Yep.
When he tells a story, you could find yourself 7 minutes later saying, what the hell did I do just the last 7 minutes?
Yeah.
So ChatGPT cannot do that because you don't see the emotion behind the machine. We are not turned on by machines. The fear with technology has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And the one thing with us, as we age, Vinny,
Yeah.
and we start worrying about end of the world, and and you start talking about these kids are lazy and they don't know. When you start making comments like that, that's the first sign of you getting old.